Few weeks I'll have these ones that'll fly in. They'll get real bright. I don't know for less than a minute, and then they disappear. Um, I went up to Killeen. I don't know. This is probably 2 years ago. I got a friend of mine there that I met through this. And we went out to Stillhouse. You know that bridge that goes over Stillhouse, that real tall one?
Over there, out towards Heights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of go drive down and go next to the lake there, right where the river comes in.
Right.
And I saw some pretty cool shit out there. I can post some pictures for that on the page so you can check that out. But yeah, it's been it's different. People think you're crazy, and then you take them out and you go show them some things, and then they don't think you're so crazy anymore.
Yeah, I see the pictures. I remember we had discussed that the one that looked like a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
And when you had really good zoom in on it, it was a complete sphere.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's in that diamond shape too. I've been getting.
Yeah, I seen that too. Remember, I told you it kind of looked like a cross, almost a little bit to me.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I've been getting quite a few of those. You know, during all this, I wasn't really spiritual or really big into any of that, but witnessing some of this stuff and just some of the stuff I've been through, I know some of it just sounds absolutely crazy and like it wouldn't be able to happen.
Right.
But there's something else there. And it's really got me to a point where I've kind of stepped out of the box a little bit and kind of, when you start looking into quantum physics and kind of stepping out and just realizing what you think is real really isn't real. So you kind of got to dig deep down and kind of get to learn yourself a little bit better and realize that, out of the flesh and out of the body, there's something else here. I've heard somebody say, how you talk to yourself in your mind and you're, you can say your name. So something in your mind knows that you said your name. And if you say it out loud, it's different when you say it out loud. But who is the person that knows the difference between the two?
All right, what's good?
Hey, what's up, man? Hook. This is my guy, Ryan. Ryan,
Is this the guy from San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Who's that?
hey, dude.
Hey guys,
Recording.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
where's my phone? I get a call.
All right, it's this link in the chat. What y'all talking about tonight, man?
We're talking about the alien sightings that he's had out there in San Antonio, and he was just breaking down like the experience of that, how it's kind of opened him up to being able to receive other experiences and other knowledge.
Or like the spiritual side of it.
I'm gonna let you take over on that part, Ryan.
I don't know. It's there's something else, there's something, this can't be just it. Energy never dies.
Yeah.
It's always got to keep going. So, you kind of got to figure out what that is to you and so on and so forth. For me, I read the Bible and,
Gonna jump on the call?
and do that. But,
Okay. Well, I'm hop on the
it's
call.
different for everybody.
All right. Definitely different for everybody. It looks like we have Yvonne from Long Island. That's
That may be that. I sent out the link and I sent out the link to join.
okay.
I didn't know what the link was to for
Long
people to
Island
watch.
Skywatch. I think we might have had a back and forth the other day on one of your posts.
Which one? Oh, Long Island, yeah.
Hi, Ryan. You hear
Hi,
me?
ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. Thanks for joining us. I remember. Was it you I was speaking with on Facebook the other day? Where we had a.
What's your name?
My name's Desmond.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Desmond.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Mm.
Good.
Ryan was just breaking down how the experiences he's had have opened him up to other knowledge and to kind of get more in tune with himself. So
Absolutely. It's life-changing. I'm definitely going through some sort of journey. Absolutely. It's been wild. A wild journey so far.
Are you out there in San Antonio too?
What's that?
Are you out there in San Antonio too?
No, I'm on Long Island. I have a group called Long Island Skywatcher.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm seeing and experiencing a whole lot of stuff here.
Okay. Oh, so you're saying the same things that Ryan is saying, like with the skills and the cross-shaped things?
Oh,
very similar.
Crafts, experiences, the Oz effect, time loss, memory loss, things appearing on camera that I can't explain that Ryan has seen. It's been getting real, and I'm going to a regression hypnotist on the 31st because I have to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so you're experiencing the missed time.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm experiencing real time. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be. They know whatever's up there knows that you're watching them. It's weird.
And they're watching us. I know that. I know that they're there. I mean, I come home from a store. I pull into the driveway and during the day and there's an object right in my view. So it's been 2 years that it's been ramping up and now it's really strong. So
yeah, and it really didn't get big until a few months ago when all the stuff in New Jersey started happening.
That's it.
And when that happened, I've been seeing this stuff now for about 4 years. And when I started seeing the videos from New Jersey and, that I've been seeing that for a while. It was just weird that when the media kind of got involved and started saying it, then it got big.
Right.
I think that could be a problem nowadays is people wait on the media to either tell them what to think. And this is both sides, in my opinion, either right or left. They all wait for the media to tell them something and they don't open their own eyes and use their brain that God gave them to think for themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't need disclosure. I know what's out there. They are disclosing themselves to me. So I don't need anybody else telling me what's out there. I know them. They're my family. I call them the little ones. That's just a nickname that came to my head. I get prompts from them to do things. It's been a wild experience and I'm grateful. They haven't hurt me,
I've had some bad experiences, but
you have?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
It's I've had I don't know, this was probably 2 months ago. My heart rate jumped up to like 160 something. Now all I do is smoke my cigarettes or whatever. But it took them 4 hours to get my heart rate to come down.
Are you at rest?
Wow, I was at rest. Yeah. I thought I was having a heart attack or something.
Oh boy.
But for the most part, it's been good. But, I don't know if it was them or not. I'm not going to say if it was or wasn't. It was just weird because I've never had really anything bad happen. But I am getting older.
Yeah.
But
Ryan, but to be honest, the few times that I've had the Oz effect and the time that I had loss of time and time lapses, I do. And the other day when it was flashing at me, remember I showed that video, Ryan? I came in and I had a headache. And I said, oh boy, now I have a headache. And usually when I get close to them or they get close to me, I have a headache. The next morning, I had a major headache and I felt like I was wearing 50-pound boots on my feet,
Damn.
as if I was walking like an elephant, very heavy. I was exhausted, as if I went through something, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that's happened each time. I'm exhausted the next day. I'm just shot for the whole day.
And that's the thing. I've seen you're like on this every night. You have to like step back away because you'll get really infatuated with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't step back and kind of reset yourself or, come back to reality for a little bit, it'll screw you up.
I do meditate a lot. I try to do it daily. I do try to quiet my mind and tap into whatever. I know that there's a reason that this is happening and I just want to figure out what it is,
Right.
I've been trying to do that for 4 years. Like I said, you got to take a break because it'll drive you nuts.
So, real quick, you said the Oz effect. I'm not familiar with that term. Can you kind of like break it down a little bit for us?
Ryan, you want to say it or?
What was that? Sorry.
The Oz effect?
And she can say it.
Okay. It's when, let's say you're in a situation and everything around you seems to slow down and the noise around you just cuts out and it's just you in this bubble and time literally feels like it's just stopping or slowing down. And I didn't have any idea what was happening until I looked back at the video. And then at the very end of a 16-minute video, and I didn't know I was out there, I think I was put in a trance with this one object with the light. You hear whirring noise. Now, I live in a corner block. There's cars that pass by.
Right.
The audio was on. I'm out there for a little bit. I'm locked in onto this object with the light.
There's one out there.
The audio cuts out. You hear me breathing only. Just my breathing, and you hear a whirring sound at the end, a high-pitched whir, and a grunt, like gruntal sounds. And then at the very end of the video, the noise of the car slowly comes back in. And then I mumble something like I have to go in the house. I think that's what I said, because that's what I thought I heard, and I went back in. That's the night that I thought I got activated to all of this things happening. I think that's what happened. It was that one night, and just from then on, it just ramped up.
Right.
One thing I've been noticing with all the people that see this is they've had a lot of trauma somewhere.
Absolutely.
Like before, I don't know if you watched the documentary or not, but literally over a 3-year span, my dad passed away. He was in the house for 5 days before anyone found him.
Oh, Lord.
I had to clean that up.
I'm so sorry.
About a year and a half or a year and like 3 months after that happened, my brother shot himself in the head with a 9mm.
Oh, my God.
And then I had to go in the next day into his apartment and see that.
Oh,
And then
Ryan.
about 6 months after that, a good friend of mine from Colleen, he shot and killed himself.
Oh.
And then me and my wife had 2 miscarriages. And then I was in 2 really bad car accidents. And this was all like in a 3-year span. And I was literally sitting in the garage one day and my wife came out before we got married. And I looked at her and I just told her, I said, I'm fucking done. I can't do this anymore. I'm so tired and wore out. I need something pretty miraculous to happen to just, get my mind off everything and just, I don't know what I was looking for then, but about 2 days later, I started seeing all this, which is weird. It was like they knew I was saying that to her. And I know that shit sounds crazy.
It doesn't.
And
at least not to me.
Most people, I mean, it's hard.
It's hard to talk to any. I know. It's a lonely place to be.
Yeah, I can see both sides of it. I can see somebody that doesn't, they either don't care or they haven't seen anything. So I can understand, when
Yeah.
when I explain some of my experiences that, that they think you're crazy. I can comprehend that part of it. But when you experience it and go through it, it could be a lonely place. And that's why I'm lucky, because I have, the ASDP guys, and then I meet people along the way.
What's that, Ron? What's
there was the guys that, we all kind of did the documentary together, or Donald got us all together. And, it's good to have a place to kind of talk about stuff, because there is some stuff that, I don't tell very many people because it sounds so bizarre and just so out there. And I understand that. And it would be hard to tell people this kind of stuff because they'll think you're crazy.
Right.
But when you get around people that have experienced stuff, and even then, you still got to be careful, because there are some wackos out there that are just crazy. But, I like to think to myself that anything that I see, I do the best I can with what I've got to try to find a common sense reason to see what I'm seeing. And when it gets to the point where you're just like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on.
You're trying to debunk yourself.
Yeah. And I have a real good friend of mine, Connie. She's very, very boots to the ground. I can talk to her, and then, she really, because sometimes there's times where I want it to be something crazy or whatever. And she's able to kind of, keep my feet planted. Okay, Ryan, let's work through this, this, and this, and it's just to, protect yourself, just to make sure that you didn't see just an airplane just then or something else. But that's a really important part of this too. You got to keep your feet on the ground.
I've had things happening all my life, though. I'm an empath. I could feel people's energy from like 20 feet away through a phone. I can sense. I've had, the black hat man, the tall top hat man come to me. I've had lights in my room. I've had a lot of things happening throughout my childhood, and I had a traumatic and dysfunctional childhood also. And Ryan, you were saying that you went through that tough time, which was horrible, and I'm so sorry you went through that. But at that time when they started showing to me, it's true that I called out to the universe, because I've had my 4th lower back fusion surgery. And I'm a nurse. I can't do that anymore. So my whole life I was in pain from the 4th fusion surgery. I had to quit work. I didn't know who I was anymore. I loved doing what I did. And that was a point where I went into a dark place also. Depression, thoughts, dark thoughts.
Yeah.
Died that one time on the deck, not the deck that you usually see me on in the videos, but the deck by the pool. And it was during the day, and I just broke down. I literally said, universe, my spirit team, whoever's out there that can hear me. And my dad passed away a few years ago also. I said, you have to help me. I need to get out of this. I can't do this anymore. And I was bawling. And I started seeing things in the clouds, and I love looking at the sky. That I love any kind of cloud formation. They started showing during the day. And it was once every maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Then I started seeing them more, like every 2 months. I would see them every week, and then it would stop, and then it would come back. But it was always during the day.
See, here's one right here, moving right here. See, there's one. I don't know if you can be able to see it. It's getting bright.
Yeah, you see one
and
that
it's gone
all the time.
Literally, it just went real bright and then dimmed out and disappeared.
I know, you see that he sees this beautiful big light, and it's just they wait for you. I know that
they're there right now. Hold on, let me see if I can get over here in the dark and see if you can see them. There's 2 of them right now.
That's what happens if I go outside to let my dog out and the light goes on outside the back. 3 will come by, and I'm like, hi.
I'm zoom in on this. Yeah, there he is, right there.
Yeah, I see it. A little dot on my screen.
And there's
See the other one
Wait,
just
he's about to get bright. Hold on. Watch it. It's gonna get bright.
Yeah.
It'll be that. It's the second one right there to the right.
Hmm.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah.
if you
He's
are
getting real
watching,
bright.
he zoomed in on these before, and you would think they're like drones or something. No, they're not drones.
Not drones.
Bro, I
They are completely
today, today, right before one of the first videos I sent you, there was one at dusk, and when I zoom all the way into it, all I can see is the light until I take the picture, and I can lighten up the picture like those diamond pictures I sent you.
right.
When I'm able to kind of see it in the dark, but what happens when I lighten it up, then I can start seeing the shapes. It's almost like they're matched with the black sky.
Hmm.
But you can, once the camera takes a picture of it, you can do that. And I've gotten that diamond object here in San Antonio, down in Port A, and in Killeen. And that's what I'm trying to figure out now is like, why you just can't see it.
Because they cloak, and so, I just think that they cloak, and they'll show themselves whenever they want to. But I think that now that they know me, at least they'll come out when they see me going out, because I go out twice a night and I say hello and I send them love, and I feel the love back. It's just that kind of thing. And but I think all of us, and I hate to say the word because I know it's a woo-woo word, but I think we're all star seeds. I know I'm not from this earth. I know I'm not from here.
Everything everywhere was all born in a star.
Yeah, I'm not from here just now to make this lifetime, and then I'll go back. I don't want to come back on this earth. I'm not from here. So all of us, I think.
That leads me to a good question. Like, do I have any theories on what these objects are?
Oh, they're grays. I've seen the grays in my shots. I don't know about an amantid, maybe. How about you, Ryan?
Mine always goes back to the spiritual side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you guys read the Bible or not, but when the Bible talks about wormwood and the fallen angels and all that, fallen angels are liars, they're deceivers. And then you look at the technology that I was talking about my wife about this the other day. Usually in the world, it was like technology was getting real big. It was a real big thing, and the whole world was quiet. Then you had a war or some other thing was going on. That was the big thing. But if you look at like what's going on in the world today, just with politics, the wars, then you got the UFOs. It seems like there's so much going on right now that's like big headliner news. It just seems like there's a lot going on right now that there usually isn't going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff, I think, that's happening all at once. Like you said, I think that they're here to watch over us. I really feel that. I don't feel any kind of malice. They're not going to do any harm. I mean, my dog is out here and he doesn't even cower when they're close.
What do you think, Desmond?
Me?
Yeah.
Like I know I've talked about it. I honestly think they're, like you said, some fallen angels, some Nephilim.
Yeah.
Maybe disembodied Nephilim. I
heard a good saying the other day that, these guys are flying around and they're looking for the civilization that was here when they left. That's why
I'm outside now, and there's two flying by as soon as I open the door. The two little ones. There's three of them. One is a crazy one with the lights, and two are calm. So they just snow.
Right.
It's a beautiful night out too tonight.
Yeah, it's nice out here tonight.
Ryan,
it is.
Yvonne and Ryan, this is Mike right here. He goes by
Hi.
Grams.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, yo?
Good. It's all good.
Desmond knew me when I was younger, and I'm sure, I don't know, the person I am now, I'm probably far off from what I was way back then. I was nowhere like this. I promise.
Aren't we all?
Life takes us on a
We
journey.
grow up.
Yeah, for real.
Ryan, you and Mike have actually had a back and forth on the live episodes about this on one of the aliens versus or aliens or America episode.
Okay.
About like I don't know, but I'm gonna let him ask. I know
Yeah, that's fine. I'm up, man.
What's up? What am I asking?
Hey.
You said we got into it about what? I don't even recall.
Remember you asked about that facility out there somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, so Camp Bullis. There's a place called Camp Stanley. So Camp Stanley is actually on Camp Bullis, and it's kind of it's a military installation that not a lot of people know about, but it's on Camp Bullis, and it's a CIA weapons depot, and it's all underground. And the research that I've done is it's a storage facility, or where they keep a lot of the weapons from around the world, from like Russia and China. They kind of store them there. That way, if they ever need to go back and get a reference or anything to do it. I've also heard that like when the Bay of Pigs happened, they supplied the weapons for like the Bay of Pigs, and it's a CIA base. It's not necessarily an Army base. I met somebody that actually worked there, and he said that. Oh, see, hold on just a second. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. Up in the sky, there's one right. And then it disappeared. I don't like it. Usually with Facebook, I can zoom in.
Right.
But also, the Government Canyon, like I was telling you about, is a state park here. And back in the 1700s, it was an Army outpost. And you can go out there, and they got all these trails and everything out there.
Mm-hmm.
But on the south side of the park, there are no trails. And a lot of the lights that I see coming up out of there come out of that part of the of Government Canyon. And there's an actual canyon there. And if you go into maps, you know how you go into maps sometimes, and they kind of take old satellite footage and they can square it out. Right. And that whole area is like that on maps. And there's a huge cave system underneath there that not a lot of people know about.
Natural or
natural?
Okay.
Because you got the aquifer and everything north of us. Mm-hmm. And then also, a lot of UFO sightings you see around like places where nuclear weapons have gone off. And actually don't get me lying, it was in the 40s, I believe, at the Medina Annex right here by Lackland. They had a atomic bomb go off accidentally. And a lot of people don't know about that. It was in Texas Monthly of that year. I'll post it. I'll show you. But just a lot of weird stuff like that that I've noticed.
Sound like a road trip, Mike.
Yeah.
Road trip, man.
Hey, can y'all hear the background noise? Y'all picking up the background noise in it?
Oh, you're good, brother.
You testing out that lapel mic, huh?
Nah, it's just my regular mic, but my roommate's doing karaoke tonight.
Oh, you're good. I don't hear nothing.
No.
Hey, but yeah, to get on the subject of what you was talking about with the underground stuff, Camp Hood, which Fort Hood, which is now Fort Cavazos. There was an episode of Hangar 1, I want to say it was season 2, episode 7, where they were talking about Central Texas and how Camp Hood was one of the military facilities that be transporting military vehicles back and forth.
I believe it.
And then, like, not only that, like the Fort Hood has a whole bunch of underground silos and stuff, missile silos.
Have you seen how big the bunkers are out there?
We're in
at Fort Hood. They've got acres and acres and acres of bunkers where they store ammo.
I believe it because Fort Hood is the largest military installment in the U.S. So
in the free world.
In the free world, see, I ain't know all that.
Yeah, yep. I think Russia's got a base bigger, but in the free world, Fort Hood's the biggest. And when I was up there, bro, there was a lot going on, especially around Stillhouse. I'll have to show you the pictures of that. I've got one where it was like a green object that came up over the hill, and it was like a circle with like a little box. It looked like a hot air balloon, right? But then it had dots all the way around the circle. And then there was all these white lights that I see here. They were flying around. It was just really strange, and they would fly right over us, and there was no sound, no helicopter, no jet engine, nothing. It was just quiet, and it was just like the stuff I'm seeing here.
And you would think it's flares, like we talked about the other day. You would think it's flares, but I took my telescope and tried to zoom in on something that I seen over off of Fort Hood. Zoomed in, and no, like it's just like you would think it's, but they just stand there.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of that shit that you be saying for Fort Hood ain't even flares, man. But they'll be quick to say it is.
It can't be. As I said, I put my telescope on it, and no, that wasn't no damn flare.
And just being from this area, I've seen so much shit in the skies and have my experiences and shit. So
See, here's another one right here. Let me see. I may be able to get this. Oh wait, it's gone. Hold on, never mind. It popped back in. Hold on. It literally goes brightening with. Let's see where I get it.
Just popped on the screen.
Yeah, that's not it right there. Yeah, I can't get it. It's gone. Wait, it came back.
Yeah, I never had experience. I've had like spiritual experiences. I mean, I guess it would be kind of the same thing. Oh, it looked like he automatically accidentally left out.
Oh, what happened?
There's no clue.
I hope he's okay.
But have either one of y'all tried what's that, DMT?
I have
Say it
not.
again. DMT, no.
Okay.
I have been. I mean, I looked into it, but no, I'm not.
Right.
I don't need it. I see them.
Shrooms probably the closest thing that I've tried that's closest to the DMT. Shrooms.
I've heard of that too. Yeah.
Mushrooms.
I've heard of mushroom. Yeah, but I haven't dabbled.
Because they say that a lot of those people that have that trip experience the same beings on that trip.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
you
see
good, right?
the interdimensional beings.
We thought you got abducted.
Oh,
You know,
right. Yeah. What happened?
You know, I think the closest thing I think I've ever seen to seeing like a being, and I don't know because it was out of the corner of my eye. I was sitting in my garage looking out, and something about, I don't know, half my height, so probably 3.5, 4 foot, and it had one eye like it was, looking around the corner, and as soon as I looked over it left real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had I had one night where I woke up out of a dead sleep, and there was a ball, about a softball-sized ball, in my room that was glowing white. And as soon as I woke up, it flew out of the back wall.
You might be dealing with some spirits.
Yeah. Well, I think I think whatever's up there, just because that we live in a 3-dimensional world and we can only see so much of the light spectrum, doesn't mean that somewhere else in the universe, when something was created, it was created in a different part of the light spectrum that we can't see, but they survive in that light spectrum, and that's how they evolved and how they were made in their universe,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's this movie called The Dark Tapes, where they kind of touched on that subject right there, and like they had a dope explanation about what sleep paralysis is,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes along the lines of what you're talking about right there about beings and extraterrestrials living in like different planes, but at the same world, different planes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like
They
the way it was
They're like
is
living in X-ray light instead of, ultraviolet.
yeah, and so like with the sleep paralysis, how they explained it is like how still you are when you sleep. The beings from the other the parallel universe or the different plane of existence
Yes.
is like they explain it like how when you're sleeping, your heart rate and everything slows down and pretty much slows down time, which enables a breach between the planes for the I guess sleep paralysis demon to come and cross planes. So that's like
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's called the Dark Tapes. I want to say it came out in
I'll have to check that out.
2016
I'll take a
or
look.
2018. It's a good one. I like the
If I haven't
explanation.
seen it already, I think I've seen everything on ETs and UFOs. I
I don't know.
swear.
I think the more and more we get into quantum physics,
Yeah.
That's a whole different beast.
I think that's where all the truth lies.
Mhm.
When you kind of get down to that level, when you can't go any smaller, and everything operates so differently at that level, and it makes whatever this world react to that level. And I think just stuff like quantum superposition, like when an atom can spin up and spin down at the same time. Like, what the fuck are you saying? It makes no sense. It's kind of hard to wrap your brain around it. But the more and more that we can, I think humans get stuck in a box, and we want things to be a certain way all the time, and we get comfortable. So when we start getting into that kind of science, it's going to make us very uncomfortable, and it's going to take a group of people, a group of humans that aren't afraid of that,
Right.
getting out of their comfort zone to be able to expand wherever we're going to go.
I was just going
And
to say that, Ryan. I think a lot of it has to do with fear.
yeah,
Fear of change, fear of the unknown. But if you believing in your soul that you are not skin and bones, you are much more than that, and that we are magical. We can do so many things that we don't know the capability of yet. And I'm willing to learn if they're willing to teach. But I think we're, like you said, we're stuck in this 3D state, 3-dimensional place. And we have to raise our vibration, and
That's by design. They don't
yeah,
want the masses
right.
to be that woke or however you want to put it. But yeah, that's by design. That goes with the conditioning from birth.
Isn't
from
that sad?
elementary school on. Yeah.
Education that
Very
goes from the
sad,
food that
because
they
we are
put.
so much
Yeah.
more. Our soul is our energy. We are so much more. And
But
they
that's why
held
they
us
keep
back.
everybody in a state of alarm, like with
Yeah.
the news and everything going on in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want everybody vibrating on low frequencies.
Alarm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. When I look at the world now, I don't want to get political right now, but if you look at the left and the right, they're keeping us like fighting each other over the dumbest shit. At some point we got to realize that, bro, we're all here trying to eat a good meal, take a good few shits once in a while, and have love.
Love.
That's it.
Yes.
That's the
That's
whole
all life
aim.
is.
Ryan,
That's the
love is
whole aim
key.
of
Love is
politics,
key.
though.
If you send out love, you'll get it back.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do. Just be love, because that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Too much hate. There's way too much hate, and I'm just glad that in my lifetime on Earth I'm able to experience this. I'm just grateful, and I'm happy. It makes me feel positive.
If I could experience this or go back to the 90s, I think I'd want to go back to the 90s. It was
Yeah,
so much
80s and
better.
90s, right? 80s and 90s ruled. Yeah.
Okay, hey, since you said that, since you talked about going back to the 90s, do you believe that like any of these so-called extraterrestrials that we see are like some of them could be time travelers going back in time?
Oh, yeah. Time is such a...
It's a made-up concept.
Yeah, it's malleable.
Yeah.
They can prove that. When they send an astronaut to space and his clock starts moving slower than the person on Earth, then that just goes to show right there time is malleable.
Yep.
gravity. When like in the Interstellar, when they go to Miller's planet,
Oh yeah.
and then you have an hour, and
I'm going to listen to this
hour
out.
there is like 7 years on Earth.
7
I mean,
years.
when they can prove when you travel at if say that you were going to go to Andromeda and you were traveling at the speed of light, it would literally take you hours to get there, but something like 2 million years would pass on Earth. So by the time you got to Andromeda and figured out stuff, I mean, it would be kind of impossible to let them know what you experienced.
You'd have nobody to tell it to.
Yeah. And I think that goes into what I was talking about earlier, that humans are going to have to get out of their comfort zone. It's kind of like, hey, I'm about to go to Andromeda traveling at the speed of light. I'm never going to see you motherfuckers again. And you got to be comfortable with that. And I think that would be a hard thing to do.
It is a hard thing to do.
That's because there's powers that be in the background pulling strings.
Yep. I agree with that 110%.
Yep.
I really do.
And it's frustrating. They're treating us like children, like toddlers.
Mm.
Well, that's because the majority of the mass travelers,
yeah, really, most of us act like it.
Unfortunate. Yeah, the human race.
Just aged ass kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there comes a time. Yeah, that's what I tell people. You get brought up in inside this box, and you're told to stay in this box, and then you get people like me and Miss Long Island up there.
Yvonne, you can call me Yvonne. Miss Long Island.
You experience some of this stuff, and then you start to realize, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. It doesn't act right, and you start finally thinking outside of that box and trying to wrap your mind around some of this stuff. It really makes you grow. I mean, it
does spiritually.
Yeah. And I do believe there's a God. I believe.
Me too.
I believe a lot of
power. Yeah. I
believe a lot that's in the Bible. I mean, I put that on my arm, and then I got Isaiah 6:8 down there. I really think a lot of this has to do with that.
Well, if he created us and the universe is so big, whatever God is, energy, the source, everything, then he must have created everything else.
God can't be part of matter, space, or time. He has to be outside of that.
Right.
Because you can't create space, matter, and time if you're of those things. It's kind of like
yeah.
You can't be of something and experience, or you can't be a cup and make a cup. You have to be something other than a cup to make a cup. Does that make sense?
But to take that even further, unless you are the parts of the cup.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
My theory on that, like, it takes your idea a step further, that everything that ever is, everything that was, will, or can be, that's what so essentially God created everything out of himself.
Yeah.
Therefore, you wouldn't have to be outside of time and space, because time and space is you.
Is you, yeah. Well, that's a good point.
We are a part of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're made of stardust. We're made of stardust.
I said that earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said that, because since that day that I've been quote unquote activated, I think I go outside. I don't know if you've experienced this, Ryan, or if anybody else here. I go outside sometimes and I literally see sparkles at night.
You
Sparkles in the air.
Sparkles.
Like I see glitter. And I have to blink because I think, is it floaters? But it's dark. And I see glitter and I think, is it them? Are they just appearing, or is it just that my senses have opened up so much that I'm able to see more?
Right.
Who knows? It's a mystery, but hopefully we all find out sooner than later. I think we have to. I think other people's eyes have to open up. I think they have to make themselves very clear. The ones up there, you know, the little ones that I call them, they have to make themselves obvious to the masses. And then, you know, we could all be one big happy family, knowing that there's much greater things out there than just us on this planet.
What if it's all a simulation?
It could be that too, you know.
You never know.
Look at that quantum computer that solved that equation in like 4 minutes. That would have taken all the supercomputers 10 septillion years. Now think about this. Whenever technology comes out, the military's already had it for 40, 50 years.
Yeah,
so whatever they've got beyond that is what they have now. So what if AI has taken over that, and whatever we're seeing in the sky is AI?
Who knows? What if we're AI? What if we're not?
And the simulation theory, I mean, it's pretty spot on. I mean, if you think about the way atoms move and how everything is a wave, and your brain has to be a particle decelerator in order to see things, because you have to turn the waves back into particles, and then they have to build the structure. So, I mean, your brain's a computer.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of weird stuff.
It's the Matrix.
Get so deep into this.
Fractal, they call it, right?
Man, I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand why I see this stuff, or why some of the certain things that have happened to me have happened, because, like I said, some of it's like fucking out there. My wife has seen some of it, and she's like, what the hell is this shit? And, you know, I had an app one time. What's it called? I don't know. It's like a ghost app. And I was having a conversation. Like, she was seeing me. I was asking questions. And it was literally answering my questions. And at one point, it asked me, do you want to come up? And I said, what?
No.
What? Oh, no.
Hell no.
Not right now.
And then I said no. And then, you know, I went and talked to a psychic or whatever. And, you know, I finally did away with all that. I don't think I need to be talking to dead people or whatever that was, because I kept asking his name and he wouldn't tell me his name.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that shit, man. You could be talking to demons and shit.
Yeah. So I deleted it and stopped doing it. That was, yeah.
You always have to
you ever
surround
seen
yourself. You know,
have you
the
ever
white
seen the show
light.
Evil?
Yeah.
I still ain't watched it yet.
And it's a good series, man.
I have to check that out.
They touch on the spiritual, science, and technology, man. It's dope. So it's like 3 different aspects, and they all intertwine. I highly recommend that show.
What's it on? What, Amazon or what?
Paramount, or I think Paramount Plus.
You got TikTok, right?
Yeah.
My TikTok 210 UFO got a lot of good stuff on there. I actually posted one not too long ago.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I'm gonna start doing lives on there again. I was doing lives on Facebook for a little while, but that kind of slowed down. And then the documentary. Have you watched the documentary yet, bro?
I have it on my playlist. I did pull it.
It's
up.
on YouTube now. It's free now.
What is it?
The Middle 2 CE3.
Yeah, it's good.
I can send you a link, or I'll post it on the page or whatever.
How many?
What's it called?
The Middle 2 CE3.
Mm-hmm.
Middle 2.
Hey, add me on Facebook, bro.
Bet.
Yeah, you said that's the second one you've done, right?
No, that was I'll be in the 4th one too.
Okay.
So Middle 2 C3 what?
CE3, that's it. It'll have like a
CP3.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Now, how was that experience doing the documentary?
That was cool, man. You know, I had just started kind of seeing everything, and I was posting stuff on the Texas UFO Network page, and a lady was like, "Hey, do you know this guy?" And I was like, "No." And I started talking to him and kind of showing him some of my videos. So he came down to film, and we went out live, and we saw stuff like 10, 15 minutes by the time we got over there to go look. So there's in the documentary, you'll see some stuff that we were seeing. I mean, right as we were filming it. Do you know who Whitley Strieber is?
Come again?
Whitley Strieber. You ever seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, the last
It's-
name sounds good.
He wrote the book for that. And have you ever seen the movie The Communion?
No, but I know I've heard of it.
Yeah, that movie is about him, and he lives here in San Antonio. But I did a podcast with him. He was actually abducted, supposedly, is what his story is. He actually got probed, but he said he's been abducted a few times. But he seems pretty legit. He was a really nice guy. He's older. He's probably in his 70s now. But the guy in Killeen that I know that I met, he was actually an actor. He was like in Star Wars. He was in Old Brother Wild Thou. He was in Armageddon, and he lives in Killeen now. He's like not a big actor, but he kind of introduced me to some of those people. But it's that world, man. Everyone in that world is trying to get rich. They're trying to get rich and famous, and I don't want any of that shit. I just want people to be aware that there's shit up there that
there's shit down here.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and people are so oblivious to it. Like my wife, she's like, I really don't care. I was like, that don't bother you that there's lights in the sky, that you don't know what they are, and they're flying over our house and shit, and you don't care what that is? I don't get it.
It's a lonely place. I told you, that's what a lot of people are saying in my group. Like they'll start messaging me, inboxing me and talking about that. It's a lonely place. It's a lonely journey. I don't have anyone to talk to, and I'll listen to anyone. I'll talk to anyone in my group. I'll talk to anyone who wants to hear it.
And that's good. I mean, I caught a lot of shit when I first started posting my videos and stuff. And, see, there's another one. Hold on. I'm going to get this motherfucker on the camera.
I just went outside again to let my dog out, and one just flew right over my head.
Y'all should know action. Mike, what about you?
Bro, it's out. Hold on. Wait.
I'm inside. I ain't trying to fuck with them motherfuckers, man. I'm good.
There it went. That's like the fourth one I've seen since I've been on here. They'll get real bright and then they just disappear.
I ain't trying to get probed. I ain't trying to do none of that.
Probed. I don't know if they do that anymore. I think they have different ways.
No, they still.
They do that shit. Have you ever seen the? You know how like they have the cattle mutilations?
Yeah.
There's actually been human mutilations like that.
15.
Yeah, man. You know how many people go missing yearly?
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure there's other nefarious acts and going on, but.
This is something I haven't told anyone. I've had missing time about, 4 months ago. I woke up. It was 12:17 in the morning. I went piss, and I usually come down to smoke, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go back to bed. I went back to sleep. It felt maybe like an hour or so, but when I woke up, it was still 12:17.
That's what I'm saying.
And that happened probably 4 or 5 months ago.
It's not like it used to be.
I
or
couldn't
like you
explain
used to
it.
hear that hours went by. They can make it that you get taken, but it's the same time.
But that shit sounds crazy. Like
it does. But it happens.
I guess now it's on a podcast, some people are going to see it, but shit like that, that's only happened once. But there was a time I was out watching They're building a neighborhood, and I was right by Government Canyon, and there was a light off out in the distance that I was watching. And where I was standing, it was like an intersection. So it was 4 roads, and I was standing in the middle of it looking out. And then all of a sudden, like a real quick flash, and there was a circle of light that came down. And I look up, and there was one right above me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like letting me know it was there.
Yeah. I feel like they're ancestors. I really do. I feel like they're a part of my family. That's my feeling in my gut. That I'm a part of them and they're a part of me. And
I don't know what the fuck they are. As long as they don't fuck with me and poke me in the butt, I'm all right.
No, they haven't hurt me as far as I know. You know, I don't. So as long as they don't hurt me and my dogs, I'm good.
Man, there's all types of different races of.
There's different beings. I mean, you know, there are humans who are bad, and there are probably other beings that are bad. You know, there's good and bad, yin and yang, right?
Right.
Well, if they got a consciousness and they got a collective consciousness, I think that makes it a little bit different.
But Yvonne, Ryan, Mike, we come up on an hour here. Let's see, Yvonne, Ryan, y'all want to let people know where to get in contact with y'all if y'all want to be in contact with?
No, I got my TikTok and my Facebook is 210 UFO, and then of course Ryan Keaton if you want to add me there. If y'all need help, like you got pictures or videos, I've gotten pretty good at kind of manipulating pictures and stuff to kind of see if there's anything there. I don't mind helping people out. And if you just need to talk,
Ryan, you're very good. Thank you for doing what you do for me.
Yes, ma'am.
I try to do my best. You know, I clean it up. I don't add anything to it. I just brighten it up and maybe just make it sharper. But thank you for doing what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate it, Ryan. And you know what? We're all star seeds, and they're here for a reason, and we see them for a reason. And as long as it's a loving energy, I'll take it. If I feel like it's negative, then I'll do what I have to do on my end, you know. But so far, so good.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing that.
Let's keep doing it. It's fun.
Y'all need to come down, bro. Whenever y'all come down, I'll take you out. Or fuck, if I ever come up there to Killeen.
No, we're gonna have to come out there, man. It's dangerous in Killeen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I grew up there. I know how it probably ain't is like it used to be, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, come on down to San Antonio. We'll be all right.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go to sleep. It was a pleasure. Thank you for
yes,
having
ma'am.
me on. No Ryan, thank you for the invite, and I'll see you on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, guys. It was a pleasure.
Good night, ma'am.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
All right, Ryan, we're about to get out of here.
All right, brother.
Thank you for coming and joining and then talking
yes, sir.
We will have more of these conversations. Mike is our conspiracy guy. He has a lot of these.
It's not conspiracy, man. They're truths.
Yeah,
I'm going down to Port A tomorrow, so I'm going to see what I can see down there.
Okay, bet.
All right.
Now,
you guys take it easy.
Stuff in the group too, so that way we can try to figure out what the hell these are. Oh, he's gone. Already, Mike. Thank you for finally catching in. Y'all know what it is. Want to talk about it? Karmicdez 85. We got this guy. You want to put your tags or whatever? He's been in a while, so you've been on here.
Teddy Grams TV. You can add that. I'm on TikTok and shit. And yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Bet. So catch
us simulation.
Talk about it. Sorry so late. I got done doing the lines late. I've been working, man. Appreciate y'all for joining though. Appreciate y'all for watching. Again, we out.